and welcome to Econ 1. I'm Professor Olney. This is Econ 1, Intro to Economics. If that's not the class you're looking for, go away. Go outside, find what you're looking for. This is Econ 1. If you don't have a seat, you're going to need to pull up a seat on the floor. We're pretty much full. We've got 720 people enrolled in the course, plus 12 GSIs. We've got 732 seats, and that pretty much fills us up. We've got the waitlist people today. So if you're not yet seated, please take a seat on the floor so we can get started. Come all the way down, fill in the front. If you're not yet seated, come all the way down, take up a seat on the floor. All right. The GSIs right now are passing out the second handout. Typically, the second handout will be distributed to you as you walk in the door. Today, we wanted to give you the syllabus as you came in. If you didn't receive one after class, you're welcome to come up and pick one up off the stage, but not right now. The second handout that's being distributed right now is the blue and gold exercise. It'll be blue on Mondays and gold on Wednesdays. That's the blue and gold. Typically, you will receive that as you walk in the door. Today's the only day it'll get distributed during class time. All the rest of the time, you'll pick it up as you walk in the door. There'll be extras on the stage for those of you who come in the hidden downstairs basement doors on my left and on my right. And the GSIs will be out in the hallway, in the lobby, distributing those handouts. Let me tell you a little bit about how I run Econ 1. We have 50 minutes together every Monday and Wednesday. I start at 12:10. I end at 1 o'clock. That clock will not say 1:01, but it also will not say 12:59 when I end. So someplace in that 1.00 period, I will end. You'll need your clicker every day. There'll be clicker questions that you can answer. Sometimes, as today, you'll see one. There'll be clicker questions that ask you to talk to your neighbor before you answer the questions. So that's what's happening with the clickers. So make sure that you bring your clicker every day, and you'll get that blue and gold. And then the second key part of Econ 1, I really need everybody to stop talking. So once you come in and the music stops, that's your cue that it's now my turn. So once the music stops, it's all done. Okay. The second important part of Econ 1 is your lab, or what they call officially discussion section. It's actually a lab. You'll be doing a lot of hands-on work there. Half of you have already met your GSI because you have a Tuesday, Thursday section, and so you're old friends by now because you've had two sections. Half of you will meet your GSI this afternoon because you have a Monday, Wednesday section. You'll be old friends by Monday. Labs are important because that's where you get the opportunity to really interact with the material, both in terms of solving problems and also in terms of the questions in the reader. The key to doing well in Econ 1 is active learning. Passive learning, that is sitting here taking notes, taping the lectures, watching them again when they're webcast, highlighting your book. All of those may be skills that you picked up in high school that are completely, by the way, utterly useless to learning material and retaining the material. The keys to learning and retaining material is active interaction with the material. So asking yourself questions as you read and answering those questions, being asked questions with the clicker, which is what we'll do, and answering those questions during class, interacting with the material in section, and so on. A few little administrative stuff. There is a website for the course. I've sent you the URL a couple of times now. That's the most important thing to bookmark for this course. The university now has way too many portals, ways for you to get information, so that one. That's the one you want. You can link to other things from there, and that's where most of the materials for the course will be hosted. If you have any enrollment questions, the head GSI handles enrollment. One of the luxuries of teaching Econ 1 is I don't have to know anything or answer anything having to do with enrollment. Moon. There you are. Moon Parks is the head GSI for this course. There she is back there in the corner waving at y'all. Moon's the one that answers all the enrollment questions. So waitlisted, changing sections, any of that kind of stuff. Moon's your person, and she'll help you out with that information. We use email to communicate with you, so make sure that you have access to your email. Make sure that you check your email. Make sure that the email you're checking is the one that you've registered at the CalNet directory, because that's the one that all the emails will go to. I have no control over what email address the things go to. It's determined by what you've registered at the CalNet directory. I send out email digests about once a week, give or take. 2 of those have already gone out. If you didn't see them, they're archived at BSpace. So that's the one thing we're going to use BSpace for, is that's where the emails will be archived. Extra copies of the handouts, that is the blue and gold, and any other handouts we give out in class. Extra copies of those handouts will be on the rack outside of 532 Evans. You can pick them up after class. Also, there will be extras of that handout for that particular day on the stage, which you're welcome to pick up either before 12:10 or after 1 o'clock. And then half of you have already done this, but for the other half who haven't, we'd like you to write a letter of introduction of yourself and take it to your second section. So for Monday, Wednesday people, that will be Monday. Tuesday, Thursday people, that was yesterday. In your letter of introduction, please include your name. Please include a photo of yourself, because this is how your GSI is going to learn your name. So include your name, include a photo of yourself, and then include whatever other information about yourself you'd like to share with your GSI. Because you're including a photo, probably typed is easiest, because then you'll just embed a JPEG. If I were to write one of these things, every semester what I say changes. Just depends upon what kind of mood I'm in. What would I say today? If I were to write one of these things, I would say I'm Professor Olney. I put a little picture of myself there. I'd probably take a good picture as opposed to one that I just took on the computer screen because it was really rocky. And what would I say? I would say I love teaching. I've been doing this a long time, and I enjoy it a lot. I appreciate the opportunity to work in this way with all of you. I'm a Bay Area native. I was born at Kaiser Hospital in Oakland, just down the street at MacArthur and Broadway, in the building they will now tear down. Sad though that may be. I'm the only member of my extended family, including my aunts, my uncles, my brothers, and all of my first cousins. I'm the only member of the whole family that didn't go to Oakland Tech. Everybody else went to Oakland Tech. We moved when I was little, and so I didn't get to go to Oakland Tech, but everybody else did. I did my undergraduate at the University of Redlands, which is a small liberal arts college in Southern California. My graduating class was about 1/2 the size of the enrollment of this class. I did my graduate work here in Berkeley, and over the years I taught at UMass Amherst, which is a large public school. I taught one semester down at the junior university down the bay that you kissed when I mentioned. I taught when I was in graduate school at College of San Mateo. I took a leave a few years ago and taught at a liberal arts college called Siena College in upstate New York. So I've had experience at all different kinds of institutions, and I'm very happy to be here at UC Berkeley. So whatever you want to include in your letter of introduction, that's what you would include in your letter of introduction. Just make sure it has your name and includes a photograph of yourself. All right, clickers. So any type of clicker is fine. The iClicker 1, the iClicker 2, those would be things that you would have found on Craigslist or perhaps used on Amazon. If you picked it up at the bookstore, you probably have an iClicker Plus, which is a little one on the far right, has an A, B, C, D, and E. When we use the clickers, I'll tell you, okay, clicker question, or get out your clicker, or something like that, which tells you it's time to get out your clicker question. So just a second and we'll have a clicker question. I'll show you the question, and then I have to start the poll. So you can't click in until it started. If you click in before it started, it doesn't do any good, and you get a little red light that says it's not recorded or whatever the color light is on your clicker. The important thing is, once you click in, just click once. A few semesters ago, we had people who were sitting there and they go, click, click, you know, like on Jeopardy, when they all click in, like, so the little box up here that you can see, it can record 1,500 clicks per second. There's 720 people enrolled, there's another 75 on the wait list. That's more than enough, so long as you click once. But if you sit there, if 10% of you sit there and click obsessively, clicking 372 times in a second, you overwhelm the box. All right? So this is how it works. So clicker question. This is not my phone. I don't know who belongs to. Clicker question. So I'll show you the question, and then I'll click start. And the question is, have you registered your clicker yet? Now, you see up here in the top right-hand corner up there where it says, whoops, my little light doesn't work very well. Let me circle where I'm pointing. See this box up here? See that box? That's the box that tells you whether or not I've started the poll yet. So once the poll starts, that box, no base. Yes, there is. I'll re-register that. Okay, once the poll starts, now it started, and now you can click in. So you see how it switched over to a red light? Now is it working? It's not. Okay, hold on. Stop clicking. Hi, Ezra. So I'm going to try two things. I'm going to unplug and replug. Oh, no, don't do that. I don't care about air bears. Start session. You know, but it was plugged in when we started. That's what's weird. There, now it thinks it's plugged in. Shh. Okay. Why is it asking me to log in? It still says no base. Lost connection to base. I know. Well, this is going to mess up the whole start. Retry. I know that. Yeah, but it says... Well, this is why I hate having things go wrong. Why does it want my Windows? I don't know. Why does it want my information from Windows? Oops. Now see, now it's got that. Yeah, but this still says no base. Somebody click. Somebody go ahead and click. Awesome. Okay. All right, let's stop that one. Go back to this. We have no idea why that happened. All right, now, there. Okay, good. Click. Now, see at the top how the numbers are rising really fast? That's telling you that it's recording the clicks. So the question, I hate having technical difficulties because you all just disappear from me for a while. The question, of course, is have you registered your iClicker? So if yes, you're going to click A. If no, you're going to click not yet. And if C, if you tried but it didn't work, you need to go down to the ETS people in 44th Winnell and they'll help you. Okay, so I have this set right now where it just keeps the poll stays open until I click stop. I can change it later if I want to have it count down. So right now it counts up from 0 and it's just, you can see it's still open because that red stop is still showing there. And right now, if you wanted to change your answer, you could. Right? So while the poll is still open, if you want to change your answer, you can click in another answer. Don't really change your answer, I'm going to show you the answers. All right, and then once I click stop, and then I can show you the responses. And so what it shows you is that, yes, is that there are 5 people who didn't get the whole concept of clicking A, B, or C, that 495 of the people who clicked in have already registered, 28 have not, 10 are having trouble, they're going to go down to 44 Winnell, and 5 people didn't quite get the concept of clicking A, B, or C. You cannot click in for a friend. So one clicker. If we walk around and we see you with 2 clickers, I'm going to take both clickers away, and you'll get 0 clicker points for the whole semester on both of those clickers. And you'll have to come see me in order to get back the clickers. So that's like, I mean, I'm a really nice person, but no clicking for a friend. Yeah. You don't have to point at it. You can just, you can point up, down, all around, in any direction whatsoever. Yeah. Okay. So that's one. So we can use it for a whole bunch of things. So for instance, here's the next clicker question. There. Getting to know you. So did you take high school economics? Click A if the answer is yes, I took AP and I remember something from it. Click B if the answer is yes, I didn't take an AP, but I do remember something from it. Click C if you took AP but you remember nothing or next to nothing. Click D if you didn't take an AP and you remember next to nothing. And E if you didn't take high school economics. A, B, C, D, or E. Did you take econ in high school? So let's figure out what we know about each other. So we have 530 people clicking the first time. You can click even if you haven't registered because later on I'll be able to synchronize your clicks from your little clicker with your name. So that part's cool. All right, and counting down 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1, and stop. All right, so let's see what we said. 23%, whoops, I gotta change this to a pen. 23% said, yep, I took AP and I remember something. 22% said I took something other than an AP and I remember something, so that's 45%, that's a good start. 11% took an AP and remember next to nothing, ouch. 15% took a non-AP, and 28% haven't taken econ yet. One of the things we know from previous semesters is for those of you who either remember nothing or didn't take an AP or didn't take econ at all, don't stress out, okay? The folks sitting next to you who took AP and are acting kind of cocky right now, their little advantage of having taken an AP and done well, it disappears after the first midterm, and I reward improvement. So if you're somebody who didn't take econ in high school and you're thinking, oh my God, she just said they had an advantage on the first midterm, the second half of that sentence was really important, that I reward improvement. And so if they have an advantage on the first midterm, but you show improvement as you catch up with them, then it doesn't matter that they had an advantage on the first midterm. So that's that information. Let's try another getting to know you question. Let's see if our clicker, oh, I took the thingy out, that's why it's not working. There. Next question. Where'd you go to high school? Did you go to high school in California, went to either a public or a public charter school? In California, went to a private school, which would include parochial schools. In the U.S., but not in California, not in the U.S. Homeschool, didn't go to high school, some other answer that I didn't think of. Give it a shot. A, B, C, D, or E. See how quickly the answers come in? It's really fabulous. All right, 3 seconds. 1, 2, and 3. All right, let's see what we get from this one. So we've got 58% California public schools, 11% California privates, 15% in the U.S. but not in California, 16% not in the U.S., and 4 people, maybe the same 4 people who clicked D and E on the other question. I hope not. I hope it's actually people who had a good answer for that. Sorry, that was bad. I apologize. I'm done. So that's where we're from. We're from all around, actually all around the world. Here's another one. Do you want to be an econ major? Click yep for A for yes, B for maybe, C for no, D for I don't know yet. My God, it's my first week of college. Do you want to be an econ major? A, B, C, D, no E option. Oh, look how fast you are. Okay, 3 seconds, counting 1, 2, and 3. There we go. So right now we've got 21%, yep, 44%, maybe 26% no. I'm cool with that. I'm going to teach you so much anyway. 8%, I don't know, and 6 people yanking my chain. This class is a required class for so many different majors on campus, and it fulfills a breadth requirement. My approach to teaching Econ 1 is I'm not teaching a course that is designed for you to do well in the major. I think you will if you do this course. But the whole point of Econ 1, from my perspective, is to help you become economically literate, to enable you to interact with the world, to read the news, to have good conversations with people, in which you understand economic concepts and how those apply to so many different aspects of life, and not just the boring little things that your Econ teacher told you in high school, like the price of a widget. God knows what a widget is. I certainly don't know. So we're here for everybody. All right, here's another one. This one's getting to know the person on your right, which is an interesting question, right? Because You'll need to have two conversations. Was the person sitting to your right born in the same place as you? Say hello and tell them your name, and notice that you're on somebody else's right. We got 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. There we go. All right, which one says show results? B. What do we got? That's what we got. So, yeah, isn't that interesting? 28%, the person sitting on your right was, you and they were both born in California. 18%, the person on your right and you were both born in the U.S., but you were born in different states. 7%, what does that one say? Yeah. Both born in the same country, but that was not the United States. 41%, you were born in different countries, and 6% of you are on the edge or on the floor, and there's no one sitting to your right. Berkeley is a fabulous place to go to school for so many reasons. And one of the reasons is, with the exception of about 35% of the people there, you're going to meet people who are completely, totally different than you, and you're going to have fabulous experiences from getting to know them and learn about what are the differences between how you understand life and the assumptions that you bring to life and how they understand life and the assumptions that they bring to life. We have that in Econ 1. You have that, of course, everywhere else in your UC Berkeley experience. So that's how we'll use the clicker, and I have more questions coming up, but that gives you an example of how we'll use the clicker. All right, what do we do in Econ 1? Where's my button? There we are. Good. Economics 1 is a combination micro-macroeconomics. If you took Econ in high school, it might have been a year-long course. Here it's one semester. So we have 13 weeks of instruction to cover all of microeconomics and all of macroeconomics. You'll notice the books that I had you buy this year are the books that I wrote for Wiley. They're nice and concise and short, and they don't have all those boxes that you don't know what to do with. They're also in black and white instead of color. If you want a 4-color book and you love all those little boxes that illustrated things and had examples and you weren't quite sure whether to read them as you went through the chapter or to go back to them, I did order some copies of the textbook by Frank and Bernanke. You're welcome to buy that one as well. It's $200. It's outrageous. Anyway, doing all of micro and macro in one semester makes Berkeley unique. There are not a lot of other campuses around the world, let alone around the country, around California, that try to cover both micro and macro in one semester. What that means is we're going to fly. We're going to go really fast through this material. We're going to have basically one each Monday or Wednesday is covering a different topic for the most part. And it's very important that you keep up. If you're used to the whole Power School, Aries, whatever your system was at home, where there was a teacher who was giving you homework every night that you had to do, welcome to college. That's not how it works. So responsibility is on you to keep up, to figure out what you need to do each day. We'll give you 4 problem sets over the semester. We'll give you a couple 3 midterms and a final. And you need to figure out, pace yourself and keep up with the material because it's going to go pretty fast. Microeconomics, when we talk about microeconomics, we're talking about individual economic agents. We ask questions like what determines the price and the quantity sold of some particular good. It might be what's the price and the quantity sold of the type of pen you're writing with. It might be what determines the price and quantity sold of cups of coffee from Pete's, the only good place to get coffee in Berkeley. It might be what determines the price and the quantity sold of Nutella. There's a Reader article about that. It might be what determines the price, which we would call the wage, and the quantity sold, which we would call the quantity employed of workers. In any case, we're asking questions about the determination of prices and quantities for individual products. And they say in econ language, individual economic agents. These are decisions typically that are made, we're going to look at decisions typically that are made by individual firms, and how they decide whether to stay in business, whether to leave business, how much to produce, and so on. We're going to find that the stories we tell in the first 3 or 4 weeks of the semester, the stories we tell in the first 4 weeks of the semester have to get amended a little bit if we start talking about firms that have more market power than other firms, or if we start talking about situations where people can keep secrets from others, or if we talk about situations where your actions have consequences for someone else. Once we start adding in those wonderful real-world complexities, we find that the stories that we're going to tell in the first 4 weeks of the course need to get amended just a little bit, but those stories we tell in the first 4 weeks form the basis of what we do for economics in micro. Micro takes us about halfway through the course, and then we turn to macroeconomics. In macroeconomics, we're looking at questions about the economy as a whole. So instead of asking about the price and quantity of pens or coffee or Nutella, we're asking about what determines how many goods and services are produced in an entire economy in some time period, like a year. Usually when we do macroeconomics, the language that we use applies to a national economy. And so we'll talk about what determines how much output is produced in the United States, or what determines how much output is produced in Costa Rica in a year. But the tools that we'll teach you in macroeconomics, those do not have to apply simply to a nation's economy. Those exact same tools can be used to understand something broader than one nation. And so we can use those exact same macro tools to ask about what determines output in the Pacific Rim economies, so a conglomeration of a bunch of different economies. Or we can use those exact same macro tools to ask questions about what determines output in the state of California, less than a nation, or let's say what determines output in Oakland, or in West Oakland. As long as it's a conglomeration, as long as it's more than one individual, then it's macroeconomics. Typical topics that we look at there are unemployment, what determines whether we have 6% or 2% or 25% of the population looking for work but unable to find work. Inflation, what determines whether or not prices on average are going up 1%, 2%, 10%, or falling 5% per year. And economic growth, which actually we're going to talk about this coming week on Monday, what determines how rapidly an economy can expand its ability to produce goods and services over time. As I mentioned a few seconds ago, the goal of the course is to teach you how to apply these tools to the real world. This is not a 100-day prep course. This is an introduction to economics where the goal of the course is to teach you how to apply the